Welcome to another MCH regional interview. Today, my name is Rhonda Otteson, and today I am interviewing Commissioner Trista MatasCastillo from Ramsey County. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, thank you for taking time to talk about this really important issue. And I'm just going to jump into the questions right away. How does the need for emergency shelter impact you in your community?
In Ramsey County, since the pandemic arrived in Minnesota, we've seen a 10 times the increase of number of people sleeping outside. And I think that this raises a huge concern, especially around keeping people safe, keeping people healthy, but also the long-term effects of being unsheltered and outdoors and what that does to our community. We have a community that desperately wants to see people housed, which wants to help in lots of ways, but doesn't necessarily know how to do that. And when we see people sleeping outside, there's a lot of misinformation, there's confusion, sometimes there's frustration, and really to think about how do we do this in a way that's compassionate, that really cares about people, but really takes into account the whole person and the need of the people who are experiencing homelessness. And so I just think the impact is really about how do we bring our communities together to see solutions for those who might be sleeping outside.
Thank you. And you have a very long history of being an advocate in
Yeah.
this space of housing and homelessness. And just wanted to ask you, why are you an advocate for shelter?
I think for me, it's personal. And as a lot of us, things become personal when we get passionate. But I was a single mom with two small children, and I had a special needs child. And I just remember, they're grown now and we're in a great place. But in those early years, it was always up in the air of where we could afford to live. We doubled up. We lived with my parents and shared a room, myself and my two kids. And to think about like what that looks like and how that was like always kind of on edge, and the importance for me to be able to have stable housing in order to raise them in a healthy environment was so important. And I know how easily it is that when you're living on the edge, paycheck to paycheck, like I had done myself, how fragile that network really is. And so to me, it is vitally important that we understand where people are coming from and that we provide a safety net for those experiences.
Well, thank you for sharing some of your personal story. I can relate to having a personal story as well. And the reason I'm an advocate, and I think that's true of many advocates in our state,
Mm-hmm.
who really bring some personal experience and passion
Mm-hmm.
to the work. So thank you for your advocacy, and thank you for being a leader in this space. And thank you to all the listeners today for hearing more about the commissioner's
Mm-hmm.
story and why she's an advocate for shelter here in Minnesota.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.